The House comes to questions for oral answer. Question number 1, in the name of the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr Speaker, this question is to the Minister for Maori Development and asks, does he stand by all his statements?
The Honourable to Uraraflevel.
Speaker, tēnā koe, tēnā hoki koe te kai whiu pātai. Yes, in the context they were given.
Supplementary question?
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Why did he give an assurance to the Maori Affairs Select Committee that his staff had not questioned the composition of the panel for the Native Affairs whānau ora debate when that answer was false?
The Honourable to Uraraflevel.
As I said, in the context they were given, at that particular point in time, in front of the Māori Affairs Select Committee, that was the information that I had. On returning to my office afterwards to respond to questions given by the member, Ms Curran, I found out about an email tree, and since that has now become a part of the record of Parliament.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
If that is so, subsequent to the Maori Affairs meeting, why, when he was specifically asked, quote, did he or his office discuss the planned Native Affairs debate on whānau ora, end of quotes, did he answer no when he knew that answer was also false?
The Honourable to Uraraflevel.
Mr Speaker, if the member is asking about my response in the Select Committee, I answered no because I believe that to be...
Order. I'm going to invite the member, Right Honourable Winston Peters, to repeat that question.
Why, when he was specifically asked, and I quote, did he or his office discuss the planned Native Affairs debate on whānau ora, end of quotes, which is in the Hansard, did he answer no when he knew that answer was also false?
The Honourable to Uraraflevel.
Mr Speaker, at that point in time I did not, as I've explained, have that information at hand and found that out subsequently.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Why did he tell this House on the 17th of June, which is the Hansard for the last question, that his office, and I quote, also told Maori TV that I, that is him as Minister, was prepared to appear on that programme, end of quotes, when that answer was again false?
The Honourable to Uraraflevel.
Mr Speaker, the staff have advised me that the events of my appearing on that programme are as follows. That on the 14th of May, Māori Television Native Affairs made a request to myself. There was an interaction between my staff and Māori Television, of which I was aware, as often happens. On the 14th of May, my staff on my behalf responded affirmatively to appearing on the programme. On the 20th of May, the programme was we were advised by email that the programme had been pulled. That's as far as the information that I had at the time in front of me.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
If that is correct, why did he tweet on 8th June, 18 days after the programme was cancelled, that he had never been invited to talk on the whānau ora debate when he knew that information was again false?
The Honourable to Uraraflevel.
Mr Speaker, the interplay between my staff, the interplay that the member is referring to as an interplay between my staff member and Māori Television, I was unaware of it at the time and believed when it was tweeted that that was the correct situation.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Why, after 7 emails between his office and Maori TV, and within 1.5 hours of seeing the Chief Executive of Maori TV, was the proposed whānau ora debate torpedoed?
The Honourable to Uraraflevel.
Mr Speaker, the accusations have been made that I interfered with television programming, and I reject that absolutely. Mr Speaker, the email exchange, just for the record, between Native Affairs programming states something along the lines of, quote, we thought it timely to discuss the program in greater depth to get a better understanding of what whānau ora is, how it operates, what its intended outcomes are, its successes or otherwise, areas of improvement criticism. The response from my press secretary was, and this is no direction whatsoever, just wondering what would be the purpose of this court. I don't think the issue will be covered in any depth if you have New Zealand First on it, for example. Mr Speaker, there's no direction in that.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Marama Fox.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, did you at any time direct your staff to interfere with the programming of Māori television?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Te Urarau.
The answer to that question is absolutely no. As I say, the opportunity for press secretaries to engage with media outlets is a regular occurrence. They talk backwards and forwards all the time, and at no point, as I've just stated, was there any directive given. In fact, the response that came back, just so the full record is noted, from Māori television on the 20th of May states, a quick note to say that there has been a scheduling change here, and so we've unfortunately had to cancel the planned Queen's Birthday final order discussion. Mr Speaker, that should set the record straight.
Order. Supplementary question. Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Referring specifically to Section 10, subsection 1 of that Act, the Maori Television Service Act, which relates specifically to ministers or their staff. Is it not a fact that he broke the law by committing an offence against Section 10 of that Act, as clear as daylight, for which he should now resign?
The Honourable Te Urarau.
Mr Speaker, today I'm not feeling very happy about those sorts of accusations, and I'll just have to tell the Minister I intend to stick around as long as the Prime Minister wishes me to be here.
Order. Question number 2.